Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our doom-scrolling viewers, Yeehaw Grandma 92. Thanks for the question, Grandma. Hope your meme stash is still thriving. You asked, how did Brainrot become a thing? If you've been on the internet for more than 3 seconds lately, you've probably heard someone say, I can't stop watching this. I have Brainrot. Or maybe you've caught yourself in a trance watching Pedro Pascal giggle in a loop for 10 minutes and thought, yep, Brainrot. But where did this word, this slightly dramatic, very funny diagnosis, come from? Let's rot our way through internet history. Right here on Explaining Everything. First, let's clarify. Brain rot is not a real medical condition, despite what your screen time report suggests. In the modern internet sense, brain rot is shorthand for this thing has taken over my mind entirely, and I'm not even mad about it. It's when a hyper-specific meme, fictional character, or oddly hypnotic video becomes your entire personality for a week, or a month, or the rest of your natural life. But where did this idea start? The term itself has existed in different forms for decades. People have joked about TV rotting your brain since the 80s. Then it was video games. Then the internet. Basically, adults have been accusing new technology of destroying our minds since the invention of jazz. But the rebranding of brain rot as a self-aware, affectionate term, that's pure internet magic. And we can thank a few chaotic corners of the web for that. If the internet were a high school, Tumblr would be the weird kid in the back, muttering poetry and inventing slang that becomes mainstream 3 years later, which is to say, Tumblr is where a lot of meme language is born, including brain rot. Around the mid-2010s, Tumblr users began throwing around terms like, this gave me brain rot, or I'm brain rotting over this character. It was a dramatic way to say, this fictional man with terrible communication skills now lives in my skull, rent-free. But unlike previous eras of obsession, where you'd keep it to yourself, or maybe blog about it on LiveJournal, this was loud, proud, and ironically self-aware. People weren't ashamed of their hyperfixations. They were celebrating them with a touch of absurdity. It was never meant to be clinical. It was meant to be loudly unwell in a fun way. Like most good things from Tumblr, brain rot started leaking into Twitter by the late 2010s. And Twitter did what Twitter does best: flatten nuance and accelerate chaos. Suddenly, brain rot was everywhere. But now, it wasn't just for fictional crushes or niche fandoms. It was applied to TikToks, songs, vines resurrected from the dead, and videos of raccoons stealing entire loaves of bread. People were proudly proclaiming, I have brain rot over this. And the worse the obsession, the lower the quality, the funnier the video, the more potent the rot. A 2-second clip of a guy tripping over a hose while screaming, it's corn, could cause a full-on brain rot episode. People started rating their own mental deterioration like a badge of honor. This has rotted my brain so bad, I forgot my own name. Relatable. Then came TikTok, and if Tumblr planted the seed and Twitter watered it, TikTok dumped an entire bag of Miracle-Gro on it. Because TikTok isn't just a platform, It's a 24/7 Brainrot delivery service. Its algorithm is a psychic demon that knows exactly what flavor of nonsense you'll obsess over at 2 a.m. And it never runs out. This is where Brainrot reached its final evolution, not just as a joke, but as a cultural self-diagnosis. We weren't just experiencing random obsessions. We were naming them, labeling them, posting about them 5 times a day with shaky camera work and unhinged captions. And somehow, this made it even more fun. Part of what makes Brainrot so sticky as a term is that, well, it's not entirely wrong. We all know the feeling of going down a rabbit hole. You watch one clip of Italian Brainrot, and suddenly you know the entire cast's backstories, star signs, and tax records. You start getting entranced into their fictional world. And now you whisper, "Tung tung tung sahur," to no one in particular. But here's the thing. Brainrot isn't about losing control. It's about leaning in. It's a wink to the audience. A way to admit, yes, I'm spiraling, but at least I'm spiraling with style. It's the internet equivalent of being dramatically over-caffeinated, kind of unwell, definitely unstable, but also having the time of your life. So, why did Brainrot catch on? Because it's perfect. It's melodramatic, specific, and weirdly poetic. It captures the feeling of being just a little too online, and it does it in 2 syllables. It's meme therapy. It's humor as coping. It's our way of saying reality is exhausting. So I'm letting this 6-second video of a man swaying his hips uncontrollably keep me alive another day. It started as a joke, evolved into a fandom term, then mutated into a full-blown cultural phenomenon. And now, it's a comforting little phrase we all use when our brains just want to cling to something joyful, weird, or completely stupid. And honestly, if that's rot, then let it rot. If this video helped you take a break from your Brainrot binge watch, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and maybe go easy on that doom scrolling. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.